Cinque Terre.
You gonna be the bella boy.
Riomaggiore. I don't know what it's called. Welcome to Monterosso. It is one of 5 cities on cliffs on the Italian Riviera. It's known for its colorful buildings and centuries-old cities. We are staying in Monterosso, but people like to call this Cinque Terre. It looks like a Beetlejuice church.
Here in Monterosso, there's a vending machine and you can get still or sparkling water. For only 50 cents, you get a liter. Let's give it a try. It's really good, just unflavored sparkling water. It's cold, not a bad deal. It's definitely hot here, so you're going to want to figure out a way to get water somehow, and this is a good way to do it.
So we got a couple packages of ramen here. This has made it from Switzerland into France and Spain, Monaco, and now Italy. I've held onto this like this was gold because I was like, we bought it, dang it, we're gonna eat it. And now we're eating it. We are leaving Monterosso behind us and we're headed to Vernazza. We are hiking the 5 villages of Cinque Terre. Hopefully all day. We'll find out.
Yeah, there's a couple things to know. There are footpaths along the ocean. Some of them get closed sometimes due to mudslides and rock slides, and actually the one between the last city is closed until 2025, I think.
Yeah.
So you just check the stuff before you go. A couple of them cost a little bit, so you'll want to buy your pass in advance. That way you can get started whenever you want, just like we did.
So you shouldn't have any trouble getting from little village to little village, and that's because there are a ton of markings that mark the trail. It's actually, you'll see signage that tells you what city you're headed to next. It's pretty well marked, but if you're ever questioning something, you can look for something like this along the side. took us about an hour and a half, but we made it to the town of Vernazza. And next up is Corniglia. A little harder than we thought, but we're so glad to be doing it.
We are on the route between Vernazza and Corniglia. We're probably about 3/4 of the way. It's a pretty great trail, and we stopped and got some lemon juice on the way.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely swimming in the ocean today. To get to the next one. So it's so tiring. When you're arriving, you're like always going downhill and it's like, oh yeah. And then like you leave and you're like, okay, all right. And this time we're taking a detour because we are on our way now to Manarola. The pathway between here is actually not working right now. A landslide caused it to disappear, I guess. And so they've been reconstructing it. It's called Lover's Lane. It's really popular. And it's a nice paved path along the city. So that would have been nice. All the views must look the same to seeing on the screen, but I feel so different. Wow. Running it. We have made it past the fourth city, and now we're going on to the last city, Riomaggiore. I don't know what it's called, but we are so tired. To get from that fourth to the fifth city, we had to go up a really steep mountain and we're about to go down it. It was very short but steep. I stopped every couple yards. It's hot, and we're gonna go swimming after this.
We're almost done with this. We're beat to hell. And the great thing about this last little section of trail is that you can see the Lover's Lane trail, the easy path that's closed. You can see it most of the way. So you know that there's an easy path that you're not allowed to take.
Oh my gosh, I
legs are so shot. I don't know if they'll get me down the steps.
10.7 miles, just a little bit more than we bargained for.
We are starving, and we found the one place that only serves appetizers. So this is our little Airbnb. We've got a little bedroom, which we didn't know by the look of the photos, but it's actually kind of, what do you call that?
Sunken?
It's a sunken room. It's a split level place. The living space up here is a little bit more raised. We've got a washing machine. We've got an air conditioner. It's so fancy. And we've got this. We've got this coffee maker. I do not know how this works, but I think it's called a percolator because my dad drinks coffee and sometimes he does it from a percolator. And I think, I'm gonna figure it out because it's the only coffee maker here. I think you put the coffee in there and then seal it all up. Classic Italian. And you put your water in there, leave it on the stove, let it heat up, and then you've got your little espresso or coffee. So I'm looking forward to spending an hour or so figuring it out tomorrow morning. It's gonna be so fun. I have conquered so many coffee pots here. I feel confident that I'll get this. This is where my sister and I came about 15 years ago. It is way more touristy than I realized. Before we even got off the train, you could tell you're gonna have a really hard time getting off the train because there's so many people. It's kind of overwhelming. Hopefully it calms down a little bit more and gets some of its little charm back to it. It is a very small city. We're in Monterosso. It's a very small city. It took us like 6 minutes to get here from the train station, and I think we walked the whole length of the city.
You really like saying Cinque Terre, huh?
I love saying Cinque Terre.
You wanted a fresh pepper?
I wanted a fresh pepper.
You gonna be the pepper boy.
A little garden in the middle of town. Oh yeah, really affordable clothes here. I got a jumper and a dress, so subscribe to see me wear them on a repeat while we travel. Okay, so we've got this, you put the water in, you put this with your coffee in there, you screw it on, and then you let it percolate on the stove top. So let me see if it works. I got it! It made coffee! That's amazing! I feel like I have really conquered all types of coffee pots. This takes the cake. I cannot believe it. That's some thick coffee. It's gonna be very strong. But I need it after hiking the Cinque Terre. I need the pepper, another pepper in the coffee.
You're gonna be the pepper boy.
That's amazing. Gosh. Well, guys, we are about to catch a early morning train before 7 a.m. We're gonna try to get on a train. We are headed to Milan next. We've got to hike across all 5 of the villages, which was incredible, very hard. And we heard some people at dinner talking about how they had hiked to a couple of the little cities, and I felt really proud because we'd actually done all 5, and they were wiped out from just going to 2 little cities, I think.
Yeah, we started to send them home, but
We were like, yeah, guys, we got this.
Great first stop here in Italy.
Yeah.
But we are excited for our next stop. Like Hilarie said, we're going to Milan and we're going to right a wrong over there.
If you've heard our other episodes about Milan, you know what we're talking about. We're gonna find Papa Francesco and we're really gonna eat at his place this time. You can hear all about our time in Cinque Terre on our podcast, so go listen to this episode. Just remember that life is short.
Wander well. Pack your bags. We're headed for Milan.